Hello, Libra, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We are looking at all three sides of this connection. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story, looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle, really looking at what is the purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second. But I do have a different tarot deck that we will be using for each side of this connection, as well as an advice deck that I will be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, Libra, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. On that note, these energies can absolutely be swapped. So if you resonate more with the energy to my right than to my left, just know that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if you're a cross watcher, you might resonate more with the energy to my left. So, all right. Libra, on your side of this connection, you have, I need to reach out with the Two of Swords. Now, I don't necessarily think that this is saying that you feel that you need to reach out. I feel like there's a part of you that feels like you haven't gotten the closure that you fully need from this connection. It may be like in terms of like you've made peace with it being over, but you haven't been able to like fully heal and move on, because I do feel like this is a past connection. I mean, it's pretty obvious, which we'll see here when we look at this person side of the connection. But I kind of feel like with the Two of Swords, it feels as if like you're like at this crossroads of like wanting to move forward from this, but also having a hard time like doing that because you haven't fully like closed. I don't know if it's a cycle or what it is in association with this. I mean, I do see that there is a cycle, but I don't know exactly what this energy is referring to outside of that. Now, this person, there will be a return with the Three of Swords. So I actually do feel like this person is kind of struggling when it does come to this connection. And I feel as if they're kind of thinking about maybe giving it another try or showing up out of the blue or something like that. But in between this connection, you have it's never over with the World card here. So there is like a cycle that keeps repeating in this connection. Now, for some of you, this might not just be referring to this connection. This cycle could actually be referring to other connections outside of the one that comes to mind here, meaning that if we don't heal and learn from our relationships that don't end up working out, we will meet that exact same person in a different body. Like we will have the same lesson, the same experiences, the same hurts, everything in association with that if we don't heal that past kind of connection, because there's a cycle that exists within those relationships. And so what I'm seeing here is that there's something about this connection. It's like some sort of cycle that never really seems to come to a close here in this connection, which is why I feel like you're kind of at this crossroads of like, yes, I'm moving on, I'm putting this behind me, but then also there's this part of you that's like, well, I also feel like I haven't fully had this closure that I need from this connection because there is this cycle. Now, the overall theme is truth. So there's some sort of truth that needs to be brought forth in order for you to fully close out this cycle. To be honest, I'm not quite sure how these energies all tie together yet, but we'll see when we start diving into tarot. So, all right, Libra, let's start by looking at your side of this. This is for Libra's side of this connection, clarifying a need to reach out with the Two of Swords. This is for Libra's side of this connection, please. Libra's side of this connection to the person they're dealing with. One more. This is Libra's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Libra's side of this connection. I need to reach out with the Two of Swords. Libra's side of this connection. I want it to, I was going to say fully turn around or hit the table. So the Ten of Wands, Knight of Wands. And you have the Queen of Cups here, so you could be dealing with a water sign, but I also see this as your energy in a way. I know you're an air sign, but I feel like you gave, like with the Knight of Wands, I feel like you gave like everything to this connection. Like you really truly showed up as, like you gave it everything that you knew how to give it. And with the Queen of Cups, I almost feel like there was a part of you that was very nurturing towards this person, very willing to take care of them, to give them what it is that they needed. But then with the Ten of Wands here, I feel like you've been carrying around this burden of like, well, I gave everything that I had to this connection, but it still wasn't enough, or it still didn't, it still didn't work. And so it's almost like there's this part of you that is holding on to this burden of feeling like, well, if I gave it everything I had and it still wasn't good enough, does that mean I'm never going to be able to have and receive the love that I ultimately desire, if like giving everything I have isn't enough? But I feel like there's more to this, in the sense that it doesn't necessarily feel like what you gave wasn't enough. It feels like there's a deeper cycle. There's a deeper reason behind why things didn't pan out here. This is for Libra's side of this connection. Libra's side of this connection. So you've been carrying around the burden of this connection. Like even if you've been trying to like move forward or like date other people, or if this isn't romantic, like try to put it in the back of your mind, it still weighs on you. This connection still weighs on you. And I feel like for most of you definitely don't want that to be the case. Like I feel like it's still it's kind of frustrating how much this connection affects you. This is for Libra's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. Libra's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. So there you are as the King of Swords. So I see this in a couple of ways. I do see this as your energy, whether you're male or female, but you could also be dealing with an air sign. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you definitely don't have to be. Okay, so I feel like the biggest obstacle for you in terms of like really letting this go is the fact that you don't feel like you got your justice in this. I feel like you really got the short end of the stick here, and that's why it's been so hard for you to like let it go. And letting it go could mean like letting go of your anger and your resentment and your frustration toward the connection. Anger is a very healthy emotion. But if we hold on to that anger, and that anger starts to, consume us or control us in some way, shape, or form, then it's gonna manifest in ways that end up, not really being good for us. So it's not necessarily that anger or frustration or resentment is unhealthy, because it can definitely be a guide to help you kind of heal. But if you don't use that as a guide to heal, and you kind of hold on to that and you try to just move forward in anger, you're actually feeding into that connection more. And so I do feel like it's like there's this part of you that is kind of angry. And I'm not saying you're not justified by any means, but I do feel like that energy is making it really hard for you to fully close out this cycle, and kind of, I don't know if it's just like let it go, or really truly move forward. But I do feel like this connection still has a um pretty big hold over you. And I feel like that's what's the most frustrating thing. Yeah, because there's the Six of Swords and there's the Hangman in reverse. You're trying to move forward, yet you're still holding on. And this is kind of this like Two of Swords thing, I feel. It's like, and that's really contradictory energy, right? You're like trying to move forward, but like, still holding on. It's not really an easy place to be. But yeah, okay, let's keep going. This is for Libra's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. But remember, there's a truth you need to know. Something that needs to be brought forward. Libra's side of this connection. Ace of Cups with the Page of Wands and the Hierophant. There's something you're needing to be very honest with yourself about here. And because with the Hierophant, there's like a bigger perspective or a deeper wisdom to be gained from this. And this hasn't happened yet, this Hierophant. Or I don't feel like this has happened yet, because if this had happened, you wouldn't still be stuck in this like contradictory back and forth kind of energy. So there's a deeper truth that needs to be revealed, but something that requires deep honesty. But then there's this Page of Wands, which is like inner child energy. So let me get more on this. I want to clarify this message a little bit more. Like the reason why you're holding on, shining a light on the reason why you're holding on. And it's something, the reason why this cycle keeps repeating. I feel like first and foremost, for those of you who haven't already, recognizing that there is a pattern that has been repeating, whether it's in this connection or in other connections that have felt very similar to this. Like, for instance, I'll get people commenting, oh, like, I always get left, or people always leave me, or I never get what it is that I need, or I always attract emotionally unavailable people, or whatever the case is. So recognizing the pattern is the first step. The second step is getting to the root of that pattern. And that requires being very vulnerable with yourself, very honest with yourself. And so there's some sort of inner child energy that keeps you stuck in a cycle in association with this connection. We're already getting like super deep here. And that's what makes it hard for you to let go, because I do feel like for most of you, this might not be all of you, but for most of you, I really feel like you like want to let go. Like it feels like there's this energy of like, I don't want to be attached to this connection, or I don't want this connection to affect me, or I want to be able to move forward and find, connections that are better for me, or whatever the case might be. But I feel like you're having a hard time doing that. Fully, at least. I'm so confused at why this looks the way that it does. All right. Libra's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. It says Libra's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Actually, I want to shuffle again. It says for Libra's side of this connection. There we go. Libra's side of the connection to the person they're dealing with. Libra side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Libra's side of this connection. Interesting. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Knight of Wands in reverse. So things did take a turn for the worst in this connection. But yet the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is an energy of blessing in disguise. Because with the Three of Wands, you needed to be pushed out of your comfort zone here, in some way, shape, or form. And because whether or not you realized it, you were kind of, this is a tough truth, but kind of sabotaging your happiness and ability to receive love in this connection. And I feel like what the truth is has more to do with this Knight of Wands in reverse. Now, I don't know where that's stemming from. We'll have to see what that is. But the Wheel of Fortune in reverse to me is also, especially with the Justice in reverse, like these are two energies of like something being karmic, something like, and when you're dealing with something karmic, there's a lesson that needs to be learned. It's a soul lesson, a situation for the sole purpose of a soul lesson that needs to be learned. Libra's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Libra's side of this connection, please. Libra's side of this connection. Libra's side of this connection. Investing in something for potential as opposed to what it really is. Because you have the Ten of Cups in reverse with the Ace of Swords in reverse. You had certain expectations of this connection, but you weren't viewing clearly that those expectations were rooted in potential. One of the hardest lessons I had to learn on my journey, in particular regarding my relationships, was to stop investing in people for what they could be or for what I wanted them to be, and start investing in and start making decisions based on what people show me. I think a lot of times we have a tendency to get blinded by love, or blinded by potential, or kind of blinded by hope when it comes to certain connections. What happens is we actually start to close ourselves off to the truth of the matter, and we start investing in it because of, well, what it could be. And I feel like this is part of that cycle for you, where, when someone starts to show you their true colors and who, they truly are, I feel like there's a part of you that tries to hold on to that potential. And that's not a new cycle for you, Libra. That's not a new thing. This is something that I feel like you've done a lot in your relationships. And seeing the good in people is a very wonderful quality to have. It is. And loving someone unconditionally regardless of their flaws, and all that kind of stuff is fantastic. And I do believe that we should always love people unconditionally. But that does not mean that we tolerate their behavior. Loving someone unconditionally and enabling them are two very different things. In fact, I might even argue that enabling somebody is not fully loving them, because if you love someone unconditionally, you're willing to do what's best for them, which oftentimes is doing what you need to not enable them. And so there's kind of this energy of because I feel like there's a part of you that's wondering, you saw so much potential in this, and you're like, man, I put everything I had into this, for the hopes of what this could be, and it still didn't work out. And then what happens is you start second guessing yourself. Well, am I not good enough? Did I not give enough? What could I have done differently? What did I do wrong? What did I do to make this person treat me this way? Whatever the case is for you. When in reality, it's less about what you did and more about what your intention behind the energy was. Because if you're investing in something for what it is today, and you're saying, I'm happy with who this person is today, and I would be happy if they treated me like this for the rest of my life, then, that's one thing. But if you're investing in it out of hopes that they change, or they go back to who they were in the beginning, or they, eventually become what that they could be, then you need to take a deeper look at why you feel the need to have to sacrifice what it is that you need and deserve today for what something could be tomorrow. Because investing in someone's potential is investing in someone who does not exist. This is Libra's side of this connection. And that is a tough lesson to learn, because then we start to think, well, if that person doesn't reach their potential, then I'm never going to have what I need in love. When in reality, there's always the opportunity for you to have what you need in love, but you have to believe that you are deserving of that and that it's possible for you in order to receive that. This is Libra's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Libra's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Yeah. See, the way that things happened here, it made you start to second guess if you were good enough with the Strength in reverse. Which might be why it was so triggering for you. Because I feel like second guessing your worth, second guessing whether or not you're good enough is something that you're used to in relationships, not feeling good enough in some way, shape, or form. But let's get more, because I feel like we have a lot more to uncover, because I'm still thinking about that Page of Wands, the inner child energy, the cycle that exists. There's a lot here. But let's see what this person is dealing with. There will be a return with the Three of Swords. This person's energy toward Libra, please. person's energy toward Libra. This person's energy toward Libra, please. This person's energy toward Libra, please. This person's energy toward Libra, please. There's the Queen of Cups, which I'm pretty sure was like the first one we saw. They have a lot of love for you. That's for sure. And maybe it's something that they're not used to in a way. Well, hang on. I'm going to keep going here because I want to know, because they do have a lot of love, but I don't feel like their actions have been based in love. So that's what's kind of confusing me. This person's energy toward Libra, please. I'm going to reshuffle. This person's energy toward Libra. There we go. This person's energy toward Libra, please. This person's energy toward Libra. There's the Devil. Seven of Swords. Death in reverse. With the Devil. So this person and the Lovers in reverse. Oh my goodness. This person is actually struggling quite a bit within. I mean, that Devil energy, yes, I do know it is Capricorn energy, but I also view it as like struggling with addiction or codependency or mental health issues or struggling with some sort of a devil that they're not really fully honest with you about. It's like they weren't able to be fully vulnerable about like the part of them that they're ashamed of, essentially. Now, if they're not being fully honest with you, probably not being fully honest with themselves. And so there's more to it than just, oh, they lied to me, or, you know, they held back the truth, or whatever the case is. And maybe you knew about this devil. You knew about that part of them, their shadow, like, and you were willing to love and accept them for who they are anyway, like, regardless of it. But at the same time, I feel like this devil energy really affected the way that they were able to invest in this connection. So this devil to me is kind of what got in the way. And I feel like until they deal with this devil, they wouldn't be able to give to this in the way that you're deserving of. So it has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with their own internal struggles that they have going on here. And that's why, like, you saw this potential in them, like, if they could handle this devil, if they could face this devil, then they would be, you know, what it is that you're deserving of. And though that might be true, there's no guarantee that they'll ever actually handle this, right? That they'll ever actually deal with this. This is this person's energy toward Libra. This person's energy toward Libra, please. It's not that they don't love you, though. It's that they don't know how. Because with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, so, okay, this person's in a pretty unstable position in their life right now. Mentally, emotionally, materially, all of the above. You know, take it as it resonates. But that is why they're not at a place to be able to prioritize this connection, because I do feel like they're struggling a lot. Libra, I have a question for you. Not one that I am actually asking you, but one that I encourage you to ask yourself. Do you seem to attract people that are not in a good place, and why? Is there a part of you that thinks that you need to fix someone? Is there a part of you that thinks that you have to save someone in order to be loved? Like kind of diving into that more, because this person is not in a position to be able to love somebody else right now. In fact, I feel like they're struggling to be able to love themselves right now. And you cannot love anybody into loving themselves. And the more that you try to do that, the more it's going to feel very personal to you when it doesn't work. Because you're going to feel like, oh, I have all this love to give and I gave so much to this connection and they didn't even give half of what I gave. Yeah, they're not even giving half of what you're giving them to themselves. So they're certainly not going to be able to give it to you. We can only love and care for other people to the extent that we do that for ourselves first. And this person is battling it's like their own darkness right now. Like that's the best way I can describe it. It's like they're battling this darkness within them, and that is directly affecting their ability to prioritize you in this connection. And it does not have anything to do with you. Now, you probably nurtured this person a lot through them dealing with this. And I feel like if this person returns to your life, I encourage you to make sure that it's not them looking for you to take care of them, and that there is actually changed behavior and growth that has happened. Because from what I can see, there is not. And it doesn't feel like this person is doing the work or that they're facing their demons. Like this devil, I look at as like their demons, right? It's kind of a cliche, but like battling their demons. It's like if they're not facing those and they're just trying to like shove them in a closet, it's like they're looking for you to help them like hold that closet door shut instead of working through that themselves so that they have the ability to show up in this connection in the way that you deserve. When we try to be someone's savior or healer, or, when we try to do other people's healing for them, we are abandoning our own healing. We're abandoning ourselves in that process. We can never heal or fix other people, no matter how hard we want to. Now, we can help people heal themselves. We can be there to support them, but with the expectation that they're also willing to be there to support us on our healing journey, right? There should be some reciprocation there. There shouldn't be this one-sided, you're always showing up for this person and you're always there for them and you're always there to talk through things with them. But yet when you need something, they're, it's crickets. And so I feel like there's this need to kind of be kind of honest with yourselves about the dynamic of this connection and the cycle that exists, and maybe how that cycle appears in your other relationships as well, in friendships. I mean, this same kind of thing can appear in friendships all the time. This kind of one-sided, this person really needing you to take care of them, but never really being there for you, right? This person's energy toward Libra. See, they don't feel good enough for you. And that they then project that on you through their behavior, their words, their choices, and then that makes you not feel good enough for them. So I really do feel like this person is handling a lot right now, and I do have a lot of empathy for this person. I've been this person. I've been someone who is hurting so much that I made it other people's problem. And those people do deserve just as much love as anybody else, but the thing that I had to learn the hardest on my journey, because I've been both people, I've been both places. I was here when I was a little younger, but the hardest thing I had to learn was that my demons, if you will, my mental health, my traumas, my insecurities, my fears, my doubts, those weren't anybody else's to bear. They were mine to have to face and handle and deal with and, grow from. And I, for a long time, didn't know that. And I was looking for somebody to save me, looking for somebody to sweep me off my feet and make me feel lovable and whole and good about myself, right? And that's just not realistic. And it's important to recognize that I do feel like this person is kind of looking for, I don't know if it's like you to like mother them, like even if you're a male, like looking for you to like mother them or like what, but I don't feel like they have the best intentions in this connection. I'm not saying they don't love you. I'm not saying they don't have love for you. I'm saying that they have no idea how to love you. Having love for someone and desiring that love and knowing how to love are two very different things. And learning how to love comes with healing and growing and being willing to learn and face the stuff that you don't want to face. That's what relationships make you do. This person's energy toward Libra. This person's energy toward Libra. So I do feel like this person's going to come back your way. But I feel like it's not with good intentions. Effort in this is not reciprocated, and until they deal with their devil, it never will be. That is a really big thing for you to know here, Libra. The effort in this is just not reciprocated, because remember, you had this Knight of Wands, like you're showing up, you're being vulnerable, but then they have the Six of Pentacles in reverse here. It's like, especially with this Page of Swords, like communication and just like general sense of effort, it does not feel like is reciprocated in this connection. And it's hard, because when you can tell that someone is struggling, having empathy for them is necessary for anybody that we love. We should absolutely have empathy for people, but that empathy does not mean, and this is the hardest thing for people who call themselves like empaths, if you will, I think that whatever, but it can feel like we have to take on the pain of others and do something about it. Other people's pain is not your problem or your burden. Now that might sound insensitive, but what I mean by that it is not your job to fix or heal anybody. It is your job to love others and love yourself, and whatever that leads to is going to be the best thing for you. And for them, to be quite honest, because trying to fix and heal other people keeps them. Actually, I'm going to back up. There's a book called Judgment Detox by Gabby Bernstein, and she talks about how one of the most loving things that we can do is accepting people as they are. One of the most unloving things that we can do is trying to fix or change them. Because when we try to fix or change someone, we rob them of their need to hit that rock bottom, to hit that point where change happens, and if we allow someone to kind of latch onto us and use us as a way to distract themselves or push back their demons or, keep things down, then they're never going to get to that point where they're going to have to face that stuff eventually, because we cannot run from our demons forever. And I feel like this person, it's like they're just not at a place right now where they're able to give the same effort in this as you are. And I feel like this is something that it's like this cycle would continue to repeat itself in this connection until you did something about it. There is no, like this person, there is no changing for them until they decide to, until they see that they need to. And if they have you to lean on and to take care of them, and again, to kind of help them shut that closet door and keep their demons at bay, then they're never going to. This person's energy toward Libra. Actually, I feel like I need it. So the King of Wands in reverse and this Ten of Swords in reverse, but I actually feel like I want to get more on this. Because there's the Nine of Wands. Clarifying this Nine of Wands. Ooh, gosh, yeah. See, I feel like they're it's like they use, and this might not be for everyone, but I'm gonna say it. It's like they use their trauma or their demons, if you will, what they've been through, their past, their experiences, as an excuse to treat you poorly. And I feel like you're very empathetic and very loving and very kind and very caring, and you want to help them, so you're willing to bear that burden because you think, oh well, they're struggling and I should be there for them. And sure, you can absolutely be there for someone, but going back to what I said, unconditional love does not equal unconditional tolerance. And if there is not boundaries set in relationships and we don't separate their struggle from ours, there will never be growth. There will be codependency, there will be attachment, it will become unhealthy. It won't be a sustainable connection. Sustainable connections come with two people willing to handle their shit. Excuse my language if you're not a fan of that, but two people willing to handle their stuff so that they can handle the connection together. It's a partnership, it's a team, and this person isn't looking to be a teammate. They're looking to jump on your back and have you walk them uphill, and that's just not something that can be sustained. So just needing to be a little bit cautious in how you approach your connection with this person, because I do feel like they're pretty good at like roping you in, maybe through guilt tripping or, guilt tripping. I honestly feel like that's a big thing, like guilt tripping or something. I don't know, but all right, we're gonna hop on over to the extended. I'm gonna clarify it's never over with the world. This middle section is looking at what you need, or the truth of this connection and what you need to know in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. I'm going to pull 9 different messages, and then I have an advice card to pull at the end. Thank you so much, Libra, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Libra, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Libra.